Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my March bullet journal setup. The whole inspiration for this setup actually came from the La Dolce Vita sticker of the girls. I really liked the bold color palette of this sticker. It really just became a jumping off point for me to have this really colorful and chaotic kind of spread, but I actually really love the way that this setup turned out. I'm so glad that I went with these bright, bold colors. It makes me very excited for what is hopefully warm weather to come. Another one of the inspirations for this color palette came from that sort of squiggly card that I got from Studio Calico. It came in one of their monthly kits. I've been really loving these sort of orangey reds lately. I'm not sure what it is. I've been in a very moody color vibe for some reason lately. Like I love that deep royal blue with that dark green. It's just so pretty together. It's kind of primary colors, but also maybe more elevated. I don't know. I just really love this color palette with that orangey red, that really vibrant dark blue with that deep, beautiful green. It's just so pretty. This is probably one of my favorites that I've done in a while. For February, I did very muted tones, which I actually like the way that it turned out, but this one, for some reason, the boldness of it is just, it's right up my alley right now. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in seeing a flip through of my bullet journal so far. I did not record any videos for my 2025 setup, January or February, but I'm going to try to keep posting some more videos. So if you guys want to see a flip through of what I have so far, let me know. And if you think of any other video ideas, let me know in the comments down below. I feel like when I was working on this setup, my creativity just kind of like exploded onto the page. Sounds a little bit strange, but I don't know what it was about this. Maybe it was the colors and I just have a lot of stationery that has this color palette, or maybe it's the, lack of color palette, honestly, because it's literally every color there is. I don't know. There was something about it that just made my creativity just kind of come out onto the page. And maybe it's a little bit much for some people, but I feel like when I was creating all of this, I reached for like every kind of stationery that I have, if that makes sense. Normally, when I create a monthly setup, I have like one specific washi tape that I use, or one specific brand of stickers that I use, or something that's like a jumping off point. But lately, because I've been using more of like a color palette, I've been a little bit more creative in the sense of I can use every single thing that I have. Like I've used papers, I've used letter stickers, I used my stamps, I used washi tape that I've had for years that I literally have not touched because it just felt weird. It just didn't go very well with a lot of my other setups, or I don't know, like mixing a plaid with another plaid, but it's more of a sketchy plaid. I don't know. I literally reached for all of my stationery when I was creating this setup. It felt very artsy. I felt like I was creating a piece of art, honestly. And most of the time in my setups, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I'm creating art. When I do this, I feel like I'm just, putting paper on a page and that's what it is. But for some reason, this setup felt very artsy to me, and it's probably because of all the different kinds of stationery that I used. I even doodled on the page a little bit in like a little scribbly way, and I did the repeat pattern with the stamps, which has become one of my favorite things to do. I love the way that it looks. I just had a lot of fun setting this up. It was very creative and very fun. I am very excited to start using it. I briefly thought about changing up the way that I do the left-hand page. This is my currently spread, and it's where I put in what I'm currently reading, watching, and listening to. And I thought about changing it up because I really like having a currently list at the end of all of my weeklies. If you watched my last video, you will have seen how I've done that in the past. And I really like having it there, but I also don't really know what to do with this left-hand side. Let me know, do you guys use this left-hand page for anything productive, or do you do like a quote page? Do you spread out your whole cover page? I'm curious to know what you guys are using this page for, because I'm thinking about changing it up a little bit for April. That is it for my cover page, and now we're going to move on to the calendar spread. And honestly, this is always like the most boring spread in the world to have in your bullet journal, but it's also like the most necessary spread. It literally takes up like the whole page, so you can't really do a whole lot of like decoration and get creative and that kind of stuff. But I really have been wanting to change it up, and I'm not real sure how. So what I did for this one is, instead of putting something in the corners like I always do, there's always something either in the left-hand corner as far as decorations or in the right-hand corner. But I really wanted to change it up. I'm craving change, I think. For some reason this month, I've really just wanted this whole setup to look completely different from all the others. I'm not sure why. But I decided to put the decoration along the outside edge on the right-hand page just because it felt different. This is a B6 notebook, so as far as the actual size of the calendar boxes, there's only so small you can go without making it to where you can't write anything inside those boxes. And I actually do use this calendar spread. This is something that I look at every single day. So I don't want the calendar itself to be too small. So this is pretty much the only way I could think to change things up, even though it's literally not changing anything. The stationery that I'm using for this spread is a mix of a couple of different shops. The letter stickers are from Everyday Explorers. The little frame stickers, the little like blob stickers, those are from Our Studio. I got them from Pinky Elephant. And the bird stickers and the star stickers are from Serica Studio. And just in case you're curious, the grid washi tape is from Amazon. Now we're moving on to my habit and mood tracker. This is where the most changes came into this month. Like I said, I was craving change for some reason, so I really wanted to change the way that I did this spread. In the past, it's been very plain, pretty much just calendars on a page. But I was really wanting to kind of go back to my roots, if that makes sense. I feel like when I first started bullet journaling, the tracker spreads were really where the creativity came out. You know, I used to do these really elaborate mood trackers where I would color them in, and they were so fun. But now I've kind of gone, I wouldn't say a simpler route, because, you know, I feel like I still put a lot of time and effort into my bullet journal setups. But as far as my tracker pages go, I pretty much just stick to the calendars every month because that's what's been working. And I still like the idea of the calendars, but I wanted to add a little bit more to these pages. I really missed having, I don't know, pretty pages. There's something to be said for a beautiful minimal setup, but I just felt like I wanted something a little bit different. So I decided to just add another collage to this page just to make it a little bit more fun. I'm using another one of those cards from Studio Calico and another girl sticker from La Dolce Vita. I really like the color of this card. It's sort of this weird like chartreuse yellow color. It's a very strange color, but I actually really like it. And I will say that the way that I did the titling on this page is a little on the strange side. I kind of really like the way that it turned out, but I feel like the letters that I used are just a little bit small, but you'll see that in just a second. The left-hand side is my habit tracker and the right-hand side is my mood tracker. And you'll notice that I do not have the bottom two calendars on my habit tracker side. And that's because I just really did not feel like tracking that many habits this month. This even feels a little bit excessive to me for this stage of life that I'm in right now. I'm not really tracking a whole lot. This is more for me to just kind of say, hey, what was happening in your life this month? So instead of doing however many calendars that is, instead of doing all those calendars, I decided to leave the bottom two out and do this sort of like asymmetrical collage at the bottom. I really, really like the way that this page turned out. It's very different. It's a little on the eclectic side, which is kind of in theme for the entire month. It's very eclectic, but I really like it. The only thing I would change, I think, as far as this spread is concerned, is these letters. They feel too small. I started out trying to use some of the letter stickers like I used on the cover page, but in a different color, but they were way too big to fit on this little card. It doesn't bother me all that much. Like I feel like I filled in the space enough, but I do wish that the letters were just a little bit larger. Maybe next time I could try to like hand letter what I have in my head, but I don't know. I do really like the way that it looks though. The next spread that I'm setting up is my gratitude spread. This is where I will write down one thing that I'm grateful for each day. Sometimes it is a happy moment that we had that day, and sometimes it's something that I'm grateful for. When I first started creating this spread years ago, it started out as me just filling in each individual box with one thing I'm grateful for every day. Nothing special, no fancy handwriting or anything like that, just regular plain old gratitude spread. But over the years, this has become my favorite thing to fill out every day. I say this every single monthly setup that this is my favorite spread, but it's true. Having this gratitude spread has honestly been what has kept me bullet journaling for so long. I feel like this spread is something I can't give up, which is why I haven't gone to like a traditional planner. The flexibility of being able to add this spread and really any other spread I want to create into my bullet journal / planning pages is why I keep doing bullet journaling. It's what keeps me coming back. Now we are at the final spread of this setup, and this is the bills / notes spread, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I write in my bills that are due for this month, and then on the right hand side I will just put any notes that I might have pertaining to bills or just pertaining to the month ahead. I haven't always done a notes page in the past, but honestly I feel like if I don't have it, I will need it. I don't always use it, but again, if I don't have it, I will need it for some reason. This is another one of the spreads that I decided to change up a little bit. Normally, I just do a little small collage at the bottom of the right-hand page just to add a little bit of decoration without taking up the whole spread. But again, I've been craving something different, so I decided to use this washi tape from our studio. I think it's really cool. I really like the frame aspect, like the artwork aspect, and I feel like it went with kind of the artsy vibe that it felt like throughout this whole setup. I just did these 2 small little collages, kind of like a little gallery wall on the 2 corners of the notes page, and then left the rest of it blank because obviously I need room for writing. There isn't a whole lot of space to write, but I have really small handwriting, so I won't write this many notes, honestly. I won't take up the whole page, so I just decided to go with it. I don't always title my notes page. Actually, I usually don't title it because it's just notes, so it's just a blank page. But I do title the bills side, and normally I do my trusty stamps that I got from Amazon, but I wanted to change things up, like I've said a million times so far. So I decided to use these letter stickers, and as I was putting them down, I didn't realize that there's not more than one of each letter. I wanted to use just the blue, but there is literally only one of each letter, and you need 2 L's to spell bills. So I used one of each color, and at first I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I love it. But the more I look at it, the more the colors are just off. It's just weird. I don't hate it, but it's kind of like the habit and mood tracker page. If I could go back, I would change it, but it's really not worth peeling up those stickers. So I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. It's just a bills page, right? All right, so I'm just going to add my little March tab, and that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!